Have you ever noticed we'll forgive a toxic boyfriend over and over again, but when it comes to a friend, we will cut them off in a second if they even breathe the wrong way? Let's talk about why friendships deserve just as much love and care as our romantic relationships. In honor of the start of Women's Month, I really wanted to bring it home with the community of women and why we should always be there for each other in genuine relationships. Lately, it's been on my heart because I think about how much men love each other, and it's so annoying but very much good for them that they're always so close, always ride or die for each other, even though they don't even know each other's birthday. Yeah, whatever. But like I said, us women need to be together and we really need to build communities. I read an article by Inside Columbia and I took a specific quote from there. Research shows that having close female relationships improves confidence, happiness, and good health. Social interactions between women have shown to increase serotonin and oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which can boost a woman's mood, encourage positive behavior, and improve overall health. So we need each other. No man is gonna get a woman like a woman gets a woman. You feel me? Let's get into it. Let's begin with how to be a genuine friend. We all want a friend, but do we know how to be a friend? These are the components. We must be present, support each other without competition, communicate openly, respect boundaries, and be reliable. As we grow, especially in this era of being in our 20s, we are finding out life. We're finding out more about ourselves. We're trying to be career focused. Some of us are married. Some of us are having kids. Some of us are lost, doing all different kinds of things. And it's such a weird era because we are not quite settled into pretty much really anything at this stage in life. We're just trying to learn life.
Just like realizing things.
And for that, we have friends in different areas of their life. The question is, even though you and your friend are not aligning in what it is that you're both going through at the time, you have to ask yourself, do you still value that relationship? And is that relationship healthy for you to still be in? And if the question is yes, showing up and being a good friend, showing up and being supportive and trying your best to help your friend as the same for your friend trying to help you. There's going to be different levels to this in what your friend can maybe provide. If you do find that you still value your friendships from, say, even childhood, or you're meeting a new friend in your 20s, once you have identified that that is your friend and that relationship serves you and them in a good purpose, we need to make sure that we're showing up for our friends, also being empathetic to what our friends are going through, because this is such a hard time, and to have a friend is going to help you get through that thing. It's not about you changing their whole world. It's about you just helping them and increasing their world to something so they know that they can get through it. Moving into being a supportive friend, I know that there's a lot of competition between women for a multitude of reasons, including the patriarchy and for women just being kind of hormonal, and you just really never know sometimes what you're going to get with the woman. And, you know, it is what it is, okay? But at the end of the day, if it's your friend, you know your friend. Being a good friend means that there is no competition there. There is a full send when it comes to showing your support and being loving and really genuinely being happy for whatever it is that your friend is accomplishing. The same time that you would be there for them when they're down bad, you also want to be there for them when they're doing well. Even if it's something that you feel like you haven't achieved yet, there is no reason to believe that only just one of you is allowed to succeed. You are both not going to be on the same timeline, but just knowing that you are there for your friend and your friend will be there for you when it's your time to shine. You are not going to have a pity party on the fact that you have not gotten to a certain point yet. We're all on different journeys here. When it comes to being there for friends, say you have a friend that's on a different stage than you, they might need a little bit extra of tender love and care at some point in their life. It is 100% okay to be there for your friend, but at the end of the day, being a genuine friend is also remembering to pull your own cup. Learning to set boundaries is really important because you cannot overgive yourself in any relationship, not just friendships. This is romantic relationships. This this is relationships with family, work. It's all a balance here. You being there and setting boundaries for your friend should also understand that that is fair to you. We use friends a lot as sounding boards, which is okay to a certain extent. If you are draining the life out of your friend and you continue to go to your friend about the same thing every time, that does not mean you're a bad friend, but it does mean that you need to take a step back, because your friend has energy, you have energy as well. Just as much as it's not good for you, it's not good for them either. So learning to set boundaries and being completely okay with your friend having an open conversation with you about what it is that they might need from you as a friend and what maybe they want you to do for yourself, holding your friends accountable. We are all different when it comes to how we deal with situations, what it is that we think is morally correct, and what we believe. However, some things are just black and white when it comes to accountability. Sometimes you need to let your friend know when something's not right. And that doesn't mean that you're not a girl's girl. It means that your friend cares about you. You should listen and make your own conclusion from that. But your friend is telling you something because they care about you. It's not coming from a place of trying to boss you around or make you feel like you are a bad person or anything. It's about accountability is about letting someone know that you are on their side and you're really telling them this for their own good and not for their detriment. This also ties in with the fact of being reliable. When you say you're going to show up for a friend, show up for a friend. If life happens, of course, and you know what to do with that. When you are telling your friend that you're going to do something, and when you don't show up over and over again, there's two things. You're showing them that you either don't care, or you might be going through something so personal that you're not comfortable with sharing it. And that's really okay, but this goes back to having open communication. If you are under some type of pressure or you are just down bad, you have to at least have an open conversation with your friend, even if you don't want to fully indulge your entire situation. Because honestly, you can still be someone's friend without wanting to indulge every little part of your life. You really don't owe anyone that. It's always nice to as well be your own friend and keep some things to yourself if that's really what you would like to do. This goes both ways. If you are going to try to hold your friend accountable for something that you think that they need a little guidance on, you also have to be open to receiving it. There's definitely a way to give advice as well as receive advice. You don't want to be telling your friend that she's a oops. Okay, we're gonna start it. Okay, I said what I said. You don't want to tell your friend that, okay? It's not chill. It's not chill at all. You want to be as direct and as soft as possible. There's no need to be rude to your friend, okay? There's respect when it comes to trying to hold your friends accountable. You want to make sure that you have that in place. Moving into maintaining friendships. Now that we know how to be a genuine friend, we need to know how we're going to maintain this friendship. Cutting your friend off from one mistake is a no. We need to learn what forgiveness is. We need to learn that our friendships are also relationships, and we all have our different emotions. We all come from different households, and sometimes the communication's not going to be perfect, okay? And that's okay. Nothing is perfect. But we need to know that if our friends hurt us, or if we have a little bit of a snafu, that we communicate with our friends so we can allow forgiveness. Forgiveness is important. Forgiveness is important always for yourself, but forgiving your friend and being able to move on without a grudge is important. And sometimes that means that you might have to take a step back from your friend if maybe a grudge is something that you battle. Maybe a grudge is one of your flaws, okay? I say this because, I too have a grudging problem. And sometimes that means that, depending on what it is, I have to take a step back for a week, a couple months. I really don't know. And that's just me being a human. I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm very open and honest with the fact that that is a flaw, because it is a flaw. Holding a grudge is a flaw. It's not good for your health. A lot of women don't openly communicate with their friends about what they are searching for in a friendship. And this could be because you've been friends forever, so you've learned trial and error, or maybe you get upset with your friend, but you don't actually openly communicate it. So maybe you're just harboring these things and you start to build this resentment. But forgiveness really starts when you open up and you bring to the forefront with your friend what it is that hurt you or bothered you. And honestly, once you feel comfortable to open up to your friend about what it is that bothered you about the friendship, you will actually be surprised that they could also have something too that bothered them that you did. So having the bravery to start that conversation, and it doesn't even have to be an argument. It shouldn't be an argument, however. It should be a very respectful conversation. And if that's truly your friend, truly your ride or die, truly your A1, they should understand that you're always coming from a good place and you are trying to be open and honest so you guys can move forward and both learn from the situation. Although we are all busy trying to keep up in the world, in this era of our 20s, we might have boyfriends, we might be single, children, husbands, wives, whatever it is. It's important to also make time for your friends because at the end of the day, one, it's really good for your mental health, and two, if you're in a relationship and your friend's single, even if they're happy being single and they're really not even searching for anything, keeping up with your friends is important. Not getting lost in your relationship, really acknowledging that your friendship still matters to you. Even if your romantic relationship is something that you feel like really taken over your life because you're in love and you guys are having a great time, which is 100% great. Remembering that your friends are also going through their own things, so you don't want to neglect them by not making time to see them, not making time to text them, FaceTime them, call them, sending memes, some form of communication. I know that it's a big thing right now to be a low maintenance friend, and it might take like a month to see your friend after even initiating a hangout, which I believe is okay. We are busy, so if you have to schedule something a month out, that is fine, in my opinion. Being a low maintenance friend shouldn't mean that it's dwindling down to the fact that like you're not talking to your friends, your close friends anyway, for a really long time. I'm really trying to get out of that because I used to consider myself a low maintenance friend. But at this point, it's like I feel like I need to talk to my friends at least a couple times a month. It could be a text, it could be a meme, it could be TikTok messages, something. I realize I feel so much better when I'm speaking to my friends in some type of capacity, especially because a lot of my friends are out of the state. Important point in my brain to reach out to my friends, see how they're doing. I want to know what's going on in their life. I want them to know what's going on with my life, so I try my best to share. I'm doing this, I'm happy about this, and like small things. That's what keeps the relationship going. You gotta sit down or something. If you find that you start to try to involve yourself a little bit more in your friend's life by a text, a phone call, and you're feeling like the friendship is starting to become one-sided, they're not responding, or they only come to you when they need something, or when them and their boyfriend are arguing, you start to feel like this is becoming more of a drag. This is where communication comes into play and you figuring out having a conversation with your friend. And if that doesn't go right, then unfortunately, one-sided friends are not great friends. That's not a mutual relationship on both sides. Maintaining friendships also includes building a community. Not every friend is for everything, and not everyone is your best friend. But that doesn't mean that having various women in your life, building a community around you in different areas of your life that support you and you support them, that does not mean that the relationship is not important. That does not mean that you shouldn't have these relationships because you don't tell them everything or you don't invite them everywhere. And maybe you just go to the gym with this person. That's okay. Maybe that's your thing. You go to the gym, you both motivate each other to work out, to be the best you can be. And you realize that over the time of growing with someone, actually making your body healthy and talking and motivating you realize that that is what makes you close, is the fact that you guys have this thing together, you always do that together, and it's helping you individually, them individually, and they're actually able to keep up with going to the gym. This is building community. You are not only building your social currency, but you guys can support each other in a business or career, help each other move forward together, and really be able to support each other in different ways. That relationship that you have with that one friend is not going to replicate that same relationship that you have with another friend. That friend that you only go to the gym with, you might strictly bond with them on something that you and your best friend cannot bond over because they're just not in that same part of their life. So building your community and having these different friends is so important for your overall growth as a whole. Now that we know how to be a genuine friend and we know how to maintain a genuine friendship, we're going to move on to how do we know we have a genuine friend? Because my mother always says the devil don't come out like raw. So how are we gonna know if our friend is really there for us? How are we gonna know? How are we gonna know? To be completely honest with you, we're women. We have intuition. And if you say you don't, you're just ignoring it. You might also find yourself in a lot of situations that are not benefiting you because you might be choosing to ignore your intuition. If you feel like your friend is not supporting you, they may not be. Most likely. There's a 90% chance they're not, and there's a 10% chance that they have something going on in their life or something. But if you feel like your friend is not supporting you, they're probably not supporting you. If you feel like you are giving 110% in this friendship and you feel like you're getting back 70%, that's passing but not in friendships. You will know when your friend is genuinely cheering you on, genuinely supporting you. They show up to your events. They like your content if they know that that's what you want to do. They give you pointers on your content. True friends are honest with you. If you need to be held accountable, they will let you know when you're doing something wrong. They will let you know when something as basic as they'll let you know when you don't look good in something.
Let me show you a little trick. Brace yourself.
Okay, I know that sounds very frivolous to say, but your friend should tell you when you don't look good in something or when you should change. And not in a rude way like, oh, you look terrible in that. No. If your friend asks you, how do I look in that? Be honest. Be a good friend. If you come around your friend and you feel like every time you guys hang out, your spirits are lifted, you feel so confident about yourself, you're ready to take on the world, you can't wait to see them again, you have the best time with each other all the time, that is when you know you have a genuine friend. If a friend calls you and you immediately kind of roll your eyes like, oh, I don't even want to deal with this, that's either you guys need to have a conversation because maybe your friend is just going through something right now and you're tired. Have a conversation about that. Or it could just be the fact that like that is just not a good friend for you. Maybe they're not doing anything negative. Maybe it's just not aligning. You guys are just not aligning. You feel in your heart and body soul when you are aligning with a friend. And you know whether or not you can have a conversation with your friend to align or if you might have a conversation to end that friendship. It is important to communicate with your friends and to let them know whether or not you want to continue that friendship or whether or not you don't want to. It's emotional immaturity to ghost anyone. You should have the maturity to be open and honest about how you feel, and how they take that is really their problem. It has nothing to do with you. But you can leave that relationship with peace of mind knowing that you tried your best to be open and honest with them, so you don't leave them in the dark and they know exactly what's going on. If you did make it to the end of this video, please let me know how you and your friends show love and care towards each other. I would really love to know, get some tips, and everyone in the comments as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.